Hey everyone. Hi. All right. I see we have Gloria on already. Good morning. Can't wait to get started. Wonderful. Welcome. Give people just a few moments here to get signed on. How's everybody doing? If anybody is new, please feel free to say hi and where you're joining from. Welcome. You can see a little too much of my bookshelf there. I'm gonna adjust the camera here. All right, so before we get started, I do want to say we are live, like I always say, and today in particular, I heard our neighbor upstairs doing some rather loud construction, so I do apologize if you hear a lot of banging during today's practice, but hopefully it isn't too distracting. And like always, this is my way of just showing up and supporting you during this kind of different or chaotic or whatever kind of word you're using to describe it at this time. It's just my way of just showing up for you and supporting you through a little bit of a guided meditation and then some yoga and then ending in some Reiki, but it's basically just another guided meditation. All right. So I wanted to ask actually if you guys wanted to do more of it's called alternate nostril breathing today as our warm up, like our meditation, or if you wanted to start with some belly breathing. I can see that not as many people are signed on right now, so maybe they're having some technical difficulties, but that's okay. Welcome. Who is here? I'm so glad you're here. All right. So for the theme, belly breathing. All right. So we'll do belly breathing. And that actually, I think, goes best with today's theme. So like always, we start every day off with a theme. This is a Louise Hay card. And today's theme is, I listen with love to my body's messages. My body is always working toward optimum health. My body wants to be whole and healthy. I cooperate and become healthy, whole, and complete. So I thought this was kind of like a nice one, even just for myself, just noticing I've been sitting around a lot and getting kind of stiff, having a little bit of lower back pain. So I thought today, that's why I wanted to ask what you guys wanted to do for breathing. So we'll do belly breathing, because that's actually perfect to really kind of connect with our body through our breath, because we tend to be more chest breathers, especially when we're anxious. So this helps to kind of bring the breath a little bit deeper into our diaphragm. So you can do this seated, but I actually recommend doing this lying down. So I'm actually going to get comfortable and lie down on my mat. Feel free to even lie down on your couch if you want. Because this is just a great technique just to even learn to do in the mornings or in the evenings, just to kind of teach your diaphragm to go a little bit deeper, kind of elongate and allow more oxygen to flow through your body and for nutrients and all of that good stuff. So this is a great breathing technique. Let me grab a pillow so I disappear from screen. I'm going to take this with me. Okay. So go ahead and get to a nice, comfortable seated position. As I untangle this. Again, we're live, so you just roll with everything. Okay. So what you can do with a pillow, you can either have it behind your head, or you can have it even on your tummy, or whatever you would like. The most important thing is that you're in a really comfortable position on your back. So if you need to have anything under your legs, which I'm going to do, I'm going to place this to support the natural curvature of my spine. So I'm going to put that under my knees here. And what you want is to just get nice and comfortable. Here we go. All right, so get nice and comfy. Just get into that nice, comfortable position. Kind of allowing your abdomen, all the muscles, everything in here just to kind of relax. I do invite you to put one hand on your chest and one on your tummy. If you have a pillow on your stomach, that's fine too. Because what we're going to do is we're just going to notice where our breath is. So first we're just checking in how we're naturally breathing. And I can tell I am breathing a little bit more in my chest. So what I recommend is to fully exhale nice and gently. And then on the inhale, just inhale very slowly. So much slower than you're used to. And what that does is it allows the air to go deeper into your stomach, and you should notice your stomach rise. And then on the exhale, slow as well. So exhale fully. And then a slow inhale. And slow exhale. Slow inhale. And if for some reason you notice that your hand or the pillow on your stomach isn't moving, perhaps try to make sure you're in a really comfortable position. Maybe your muscles aren't fully relaxed. So try to just get even more cozier. And I do invite you to close your eyes while you do this. Just nice, slow inhales. Just continue to do this for a few more breaths, just allowing your breath to go much deeper into your diaphragm, into your belly, nourishing all those organs. Maybe you feel a sense of calm. Allow your face to relax as you're breathing. Really good. So all we're doing is just breathing a little bit slower and deeper, allowing our body to naturally relax. Also bringing focus to our breathing, which allows our mind to calm. And just continue to focus on your hand that's rising or the pillow that's rising up and down. Allowing your body to relax. All right, really good. I do encourage you to practice this breathing regularly. This helps to switch us from our sympathetic system into our parasympathetic system. So sympathetic is our fight and flight, and our parasympathetic is our rest and digest. So when you're able to breathe a little bit deeper and feel that calmness, it helps also to make you a lot more resilient with stress. Okay, so what we're going to do is kind of tuck our knees in. You fall to one side like we usually do after Savasana. Just staying really connected with our body today. And on an inhale, pushing up off of the floor, coming into a seated position, because today's theme is listening with love to our body's messages. So we're going to be very mindful of our body today and how we move. We're going to stay very mindful with our breath as well. So today will be a really nice practice. We'll be kind of working our whole body. Okay. So in a seated position, if you need to, because we're going to extend our feet straight out, maybe move the little bit of extra goodies that we have underneath so you can sit nice and flat with our feet fully extended and our spine straight. And just flex your toes towards you. Feel that nice stretch, feel that nice elongation, because typically what we end up doing when we're sitting is we're just kind of slouching. So we're really sitting on our sit bones, activating our core a little bit, just so we're just using some of those muscles just to to sit up straight while we're extending our feet. And on an inhale, bring in your left leg. Bring that in. However far in you can bring it is fine. And inhale to lengthen. Exhale, we're going to twist to our left side. Nice, gentle twist. I do recommend that if you are pregnant, not to do a closed twist like this. Instead, you can just keep your leg down and twist. But anyways, I'm not too sure who's watching, if Erica's watching or not. All right. A nice, gentle twist. This is nice. Inhale, exhale. And then also, inhale your chin up. And then your chin down. Feel a little bit of that stretch in your back of your neck. It's nice and gentle. Inhale and exhale. Staying really long in our spine. And on an exhale, we're going to release. Put that foot down. And then inhale, bringing the right leg up. Bringing that up as far as you can. Again, if you're pregnant for the twist, I recommend not bringing your knee up. Inhaling to lengthen, exhaling, twisting to the side here. You can hold your leg if you want as we're looking to our right. And that nice spinal twist, nice and gentle. Then again with the neck, inhale, chin up. Exhale, chin down. Inhale, chin up. Exhale, chin down. Really good. All right, and extend that leg forward. We're going to go back to our left leg. So we're going to grab our left ankle with our left hand, bending the knee and kind of opening up the hip here. So I'm going to support my foot with my right hand. We're just going to kind of rock our hip open just very gently, making sure we're still elongated in our spine, supporting our knee if we need. And we're just swinging very, very gently to see if we can open up that hip just a little bit. But we're being very gentle and careful. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper, you can bring your foot closer to you and put it in your elbow crease of your right hand and bringing your left underneath and locking your fingers and just rocking it. So this is basically called like cradling the baby and making sure my foot is active as well. Because what I'm doing is just opening up my hip. But wherever you're at, so even if you don't want to go that deep, you can kind of support from underneath. Whatever feels most comfortable. We're just going to be here for a few more breaths. Just swinging our hip, breathing into that. Keeping your face nice and relaxed. Just opening up that hip. Really good. And on an inhale, nice and gently, going to straighten that leg. Now on an inhale, you're going to grab your right ankle with your right hand, bending the knee, bringing it forward, supporting it with your left hand, and just kind of swinging the hip, nice and gentle, just opening that up, and support your knee, staying straight in your spine. Just very gentle. If you'd like to go deeper, you can bring your foot closer and bring it into the crease of your left arm, bringing right underneath, just kind of cradling it like a baby. And also remember to keep that foot active. Just swinging that open. Again, if you are even if you're right here and you're just doing this, that's perfectly fine. That's where you're at. Not everybody has a lot of hip flexibility, and that's perfectly fine. So just a few more breaths here. I know this seems odd, but I promise we're going to end in a really interesting pose called froggy, and you'll be glad that we warmed up and did this. Okay, so we're going to release that down. Maybe bounce the knees a little bit. Bend the knees, and then we're going to kind of drop them to the side as we come to all fours. We're going to come to tabletop. So tabletop, always checking in here, making sure hips are over knees. So we'll go backwards this time. Wrists underneath of shoulders. So everything's stacked nice and aligned. And I'm going to inhale my tailbone up as my belly drops, vertebrae by vertebrae, pushing away from the mat until my head comes up into kind of cow pose. And then on the exhale, dropping the tailbone and vertebrae by vertebrae until my head drops. Go ahead and move on your own breath if you'd like. Inhaling the tailbone up, dropping the belly, pushing away from the mat, lifting the head. And exhaling. So you're going to hear me say moving on your own breath today because we're really listening to our body and what feels good for us. Good job. And come to neutral spine. Exhale, left leg back. We kind of warm up that leg. On an inhale, leg up, activating your core, pushing away from the mat. Bring your right arm up. So left leg extended, right arm extended. Really feeling that core strength. So I'm not overextending. I'm nice and strong in my core. Feel the energy going from the tips of your toes all the way to the tips of your fingertips. Feeling that core, head is down, face is relaxed. And on an exhale, bring hand and knee down. Inhaling, right leg back, maybe rocking a little bit to warm that up. Inhale to lift, really activating that core. And bringing left arm up this time. Really pressing away from the mat, using your core. Gaze is down. Feeling energy, tips of toes to the tips of the fingers. Really feel that length all the way through your body. One more breath, face relaxed. On an exhale, bring them all down. Okay. From here, we're going to bring our hands just a little in front of us, just ever so gently. Maybe it's just another handprint ahead. And on an inhale, I'm going to press into my right hand. Inhale, left arm up. Nice little stretch there. And on an exhale, thread the needle in between my arm and my knee. Feeling a nice little stretch here. Face is relaxed. It's a nice little stretch here. So you can keep supporting yourself through your hand, or if you'd like, you can extend it even more further. You can bring it behind you and open up your shoulder more. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. For me, I'm just relaxing and breathing into my lower tummy. On an inhale, I'm going to press into my right hand to come up, opening all the way up, bringing left arm up to the sky. Exhaling, bringing that down. Now I'm going to press into my left hand. Inhaling, right arm up. Now threading the needle in between. Bringing shoulder down, nice and gentle. Again with the arms. You can keep it all the way in front. You can bring it behind you and open your shoulder. Whatever feels most comfortable for you. Just another breath here. Breathing into that tummy. Okay. Press into your left hand. Peeling up. Inhaling open. Exhaling down. Okay. And then from here, so I'm going to kind of go back into my tabletop. And I'm just going to lower my chest to the ground. Bringing my chin, and then I'm just going to push my legs out. All right. And if you need, because sometimes you can keep your hands in place, just kind of wiggle your spine just to kind of give yourself a little bit of length. So I didn't really move. I just kind of visually wiggled forward, not moving anything but my spine to get a little bit more length. Okay. And on an inhale here, I'm actually going to bring my hands above my head and just open them ever so gently. Oh, I have a speaker in my way. I'm going to scoot back. Okay, better. So my hands are above my head, slightly wide. And so what I'm going to do on an inhale, I'm going to press into my fingertips and lift up on my back. And exhale down. Bringing my hands a little bit down on my side here. Pressing into my fingertips. Rolling the shoulder blades down. Inhale to lengthen. Bringing hands next to shoulders. So they're still kind of wide. Having a hard time on this side here. But I'm just going to inhale. And exhale. Bring the hands underneath of shoulders. I'm going to press into the palms of my hands. And I'm going to press up into my table, opening my knees, and I'm pushing back into child's pose. You can still keep your hands kind of in front if you'd like. Or you can bring them into maybe a little bit of a prayer pose. Whatever feels comfortable for you. I am actually going to pull my hair back. It's getting slightly annoying. Okay. So we are in child's pose. Nice and relaxed, breathing into our lower bellies. Checking in. Inhale, coming forward. We're onto all fours. Feel a little bit of movement, maybe moving our hips around a little bit, side to side. Okay, coming back to neutral. Pressing away from the mat, tucking your toes, lifting the hips up into the sky. Pedaling out the feet. Really good. Make sure your neck is relaxed. Just checking in for a few breaths here for our first down dog. And then from here, we're just going to gently walk in between our hands, staying hinged at the hips. You have a nice bend in your knees. Inhale halfway up, flat back. Exhale down. And on an inhale, just vertebrae by vertebrae coming up. And the last thing to come up is my head. Just checking in here. So I'm in mountain pose. Inhale, both arms up. Grab left wrist. Kind of just bend to your right side. It's a nice little side body stretch. Inhale, straighten. Grab right wrist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, coming to the left side. Nice, gentle. Nice face, relax. And exhale, arms down. Really good. Okay. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, just hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward fold. And this time, I'm going to step my left foot back, coming to my knee, to my kind of runner's lunge. I'm going to push my hips back and get that nice stretch in my legs. I know we do this a lot, but I'm always so stiff. I don't know about you. Feel that nice in my leg here. And planting the foot, coming forward. I'm going to inhale both arms up. Up. Checking in with my core, making sure that's nice and strong. As I do a very gentle back bend. And exhale down, planting the right hand and inhaling left arm up, very gentle twist. And exhale, bringing the arm down, tucking the toe, lifting the leg, and coming into a plank. So if you don't want to be in plank and you prefer to be more on your knees, like that's perfectly fine. Just want to make sure we're supporting our shoulders, tucking our hips. We're just going to rock on our toes, activating that core. And on an exhale, lowering down. Inhaling up. Baby cobra. Exhale down. Activate our core again. Pushing up. Pushing our hips back. Tucking the toes. Lifting our tailbone all the way up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Gently walking it out. Breathing, staying in contact with that breath. And looking in between our hands, just going to slowly walk our way, staying hinged at the hips. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, vertebrae by vertebrae, till you come all the way up. Really good. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. This time we're going to move our left leg back. So inhaling left leg, extending that back, dropping the knee and the foot, and pushing our hips back for a nice gentle stretch here in our leg. So I'm not kind of coming to the side. My hips are aligned as I'm pushing back. Really good. Exhale. Pressing into the foot. Inhaling both arms up. Lots of energy here. Activating the core, so we're not going to crunch our lower back. Inhaling. A nice little back extension. Exhale, hands down. Planting left hand. Opening up. Our right arm goes up. Really good. Exhale. Down. Tucking the toes. Lifting the leg. And this time we're just going to bring the other leg back into downward facing dog. Inhale forward. In our plank pose, or on your knees, it's fine. Lowering down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, pressing up from the mat, touching the toes, pushing hips back to downward dog. Really good. Hope we're feeling nice and warmed up. And we're going to you can either jump or walk in between your hands. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up. This is such a... All right, really good. So before we move on, we're just going to make sure our hips are nice and open here. Just do a couple of circles. So we're going to move into 2 sun salutations in a row. So what I'm going to do is I really encourage you to move on your own breath. You can obviously stay with me if you want. But either way, meet me at mountain pose and we'll flow together. And then also when we do chaturanga, feel free, if it's part of your practice, to do more of chaturanga upward facing dog into downward dog, if that's more of something what you do. Or you can stay with me as I lower down onto my belly and then up into the cobra. So whatever's most comfortable for you in your practice. Just the most important part right now is just to stay connected with the breath and staying very connected with our body. So what feels good in our body, and making sure we are making sure our core is nice and engaged. And what I mean by that is just a nice lift and in. So we're not sucking in our bellies. It's just a nice little lift from our pelvic floor, supporting our belly here. Okay. That's what I usually mean when I say activating your core. It's just that gentle lift. Okay. So we're starting at the top of our mat. Make sure we're just going to check in. Okay. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Remember, you can move on your own breath if I'm going too slow. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. Planting the hands, stepping or jumping back. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, pressing away from the mat, tucking the toes, lifting the hips. Just 2 breaths, and then you can jump or walk forward, staying hinged. Halfway up. Forward fold. And inhale to rise. Really good. Okay, we're going to do that again. And I do invite you to move on your own breath or to stay with me. I am still saying it out loud for those that may be new. Okay. Checking in, pressing into all 4 corners of our feet. Feeling really strong before we go through our flow. Checking in with our body, any messages it might have. And inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale down, planting the hands, jump or step back into your plank. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Pressing up, tucking the toes. Bringing tailbone up to the sky. For 2 breaths here. And walking or jumping or stepping all the way to the top. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale, rise. Hands to center. Really good. Okay. We're just going to check in for a moment here. If you want, you can kind of swing side to side. Maybe your heart rate's slightly elevated. Just checking in. I'm going to invite you to close your eyes too. Just checking in. If you're doing any extra movements you feel you need to do. Okay. All right. Starting at the top of our mat. Inhaling both arms up. Exhaling, hinging at the hips. Keeping it back nice and strong here. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale down. And this time, I'm going to come on up again. Inhaling up. Just using our back there because we're actually going to shift our weight to our left leg. Inhaling, right leg up. Exhaling and kicking it back to a nice, gentle balance pose. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy. Inhaling it up again. Bending at the knee. And on an exhale this time, as we bring it through, bend your left knee and kick that foot back as far as you can. Staying bent. Activating our core. Gathering up all that energy. Pressing away from our left foot as we rise. Make sure your core is nice and activated. We're going to do a very gentle back bend. Coming back down. Exhaling, hands down. I'm going to pivot on the back foot. Coming into warrior 2. All right. So with this, it's like I'm ripping the mat apart with my feet. My back foot is parallel with the mat. And this one's pointing forward. Just going to breathe for a moment. Inhaling, left arm up into the sky. Feeling a nice little side body stretch here. And exhaling that down, windmilling our arms. I'm actually going to bring my right arm across my face and opening up my shoulders all the way up into the sky. And then bringing it across, getting that nice length all the way from the corner of my foot to my fingertip. Feeling really strong, relaxing the face. So I'm not collapsing in. See, my shoulders are nice and strong here. Inhaling up, warrior 2. And then I'm going to pivot my back foot forward slightly. If you need to bring it in, that's okay. Because then we're going to windmill our arms down. Down, 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 down to the ground. And pushing our hips up into the sky. Option to move through a flow if you'd like. If not, feel free to kind of bend your knees and come to a little child's pose there and just rest. If you'd like to do a gentle flow, come forward in your plank, lowering down. Inhaling up. Exhale down. Pressing into the tops of our feet, pushing up and coming up into downward facing dog. If you are in child's pose, gently begin to make your way to downward facing dog. And we're going to walk up in between our hands. And inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Inhale, rise with a nice strong back. All right, time to do the other side. So I'm going to move to the other side of my mat so I stay open to you. I'm going to spread my right toes, put a lot of strength in that. Inhaling, left leg up, and then behind on an exhale, nice and gentle. We're just going to flow just a little gently. Inhale, bringing knee back in between and up. And now I'm actually going to bend my right knee as I press back to my left foot and gently place that on the ground. Going to gather all that energy up with my fingertips, using my core and rise up. Activating my core here, really, so we're not cranking our back. Inhale, gentle back bend. Really good. Exhale, opening up, pivoting the foot, so if you need to get more space for your warrior two. Again, back foot is parallel with the mat. Front is facing forward, my knee's not coming over. Inhale, arms. Checking into that really strong warrior two. Sure, this is chin over chest, chest over pelvis here. Checking in with our body. And inhaling, right arm up. Exhale, right arm down. Bringing left arm over and around in front of me. And then opening up nice and strong. Really opening up that shoulder. And bringing it all the way up, feeling that nice long line from my fingertips all the way to my toes. Nice lengthen, nice and strong, nice and relaxed face. Really good. Inhale to rise. Exhale, so we're going to do the same thing. So if you need, you can either just pivot that foot or you can bring it in just a little bit. So we're going to windmill our arms, pivoting that back foot and that heel. Bending, coming down, sending that foot back, lifting the hips into downward facing dog. Really good. Now we're going to lower the knees, opening the hips, and pressing back in the child's pose. I'm going to windmill this way, so I'm near the mic. All right. All right. All right, inhale coming up. So what we're going to do, because I told you we were going to do something fun-ish, is I'm going to come to the side of my mat here. We're going to end in something called froggy. So what you can do, so there's some options here, depending on how open your hips are, is you can just kind of come into a pose more like this with your hips and your feet still together. So my hips and my feet are still together. And then just kind of sit back into that. So that's almost like child's pose if that's as strong as you want to go. Or I'm going to open my hips just a little bit more, bringing my feet out or my knees out further. And the trick is to make sure your hip stays over your knees. Okay, so my hips are still in line with my knees here. And then I'm going to bring my foot out. So my ankles are in line with my knees and just my feet are extended out. So it looks kind of silly, but you want to make sure your feet are nice and active there, because what we're going to do is we're going to just lower onto our elbows, nice and gently, really opening up those hips. So I'm going to open up just a little further. And again, I'm not coming forward. I'm pushing back and making sure my hips are still in line with my knees. If you're not here and you're more up here and that feels like plenty, you just want to kind of play with it and just allowing your hips to open just very, very gently. And my core is still slightly activated here. Okay. Into this silly little froggy pose. And we're pushing our booty backwards. Okay. Just a little bit. So my hips are still in line with my knees. So I'm not forward. It's more backwards. You should feel this in your, my goodness, and your your hips. Oh man. All right, just a few breaths here. Also, if you like, similar with pigeon, if you want to come all the way down and rest your head on your hands, feel free to do that. Allowing your pelvis, your hips, and everything to naturally open. And if at any point it hurts, please come out, okay? This should be very gentle. All right. And an inhale, we're going to slowly and very mindfully come out. Pressing into your hands, bringing knees back together, bringing my feet back underneath of me. Sorry, that was my toes. I did not. Okay, bringing knees underneath. Okay, so what might be comfortable for you, maybe coming off of that. And then we're going to extend legs out in front and just open very gently for ourselves, just for one last little stretch here for the inside. Staying really long. Maybe grabbing your ankles, still staying long in your back. And just breathe gently. Checking in with our body and coming up and out. Very good. Bending the knees. Excellent. Okay. Coming onto my mat. Lowering down gently, really gently onto the mat. And with my knees kind of close to my booty, I'm just going to kind of let them fall to the side in a windshield wiper movement. And of course, I'm going to run into something on this side, but don't mind me. Just a very gentle windshield wiper movement. Okay. And come to center. Bringing knees up, giving them a nice hug. And to one of our last poses, bringing hands in between knees, bringing feet up, grabbing outside of feet into happy baby, playing with this a little bit. Maybe you bend a leg and straighten one. Just playing with this of what feels good. Hopefully you're feeling a lot more open in the hips, maybe more open in your back, and strengthen your legs and your arms. We worked a little bit of everything today. Really good. Bringing arms out, tucking these together. And then extending feet slowly out and open. Just nice and gentle. And just getting into a nice comfortable savasana. So legs shouldn't be touching, arms shouldn't be touching. And now we're just going to begin to relax. So relax your toes. I invite you to close your eyes while we do this. Relax your toes. Relax your ankles. Relax the tops of your legs and the backs of your legs. Relax your hips and your bottom. And just melt into the mat. Relax your lower tummy, your rib cage and your chest. Relax your lower back, your mid back, and your shoulders. Just melt into the mat. Now gently begin to relax down your arms, to your elbows, to your wrists, down each fingertip. Just rest and melt into the mat. Relax your neck and your throat. Relax your jaw and your tongue in your mouth. Relax your eyes and your eyebrows. Relax the back of your head. the top of your head and then your forehead. Just melt into the mat. Or perhaps we check back in with our breathing. Inhaling slower into our belly. Allowing our belly to rise and fall. Being more mindful of our breath. Being more mindful of our body and the messages it gives us. Just tapping in. Begin to come back, wiggle your toes just a little bit. Wiggle your fingers, bringing your awareness back. Inhaling your knees to your chest. And you're rocking side to side. And on an exhale, just kind of falling to one side. And on an inhale, pressing into your hand and coming up to a nice seated position. Okay, so for this last part, if you'd like, you can stay lying down or come to a nice comfortable seated position, whatever you would like for this last meditation. Go ahead and get to a nice comfortable seated position. Or if you're lying down in Savasana, that's fine too. Okay. So whether you're seated or you're lying down, I invite you to close your eyes. Your hands can either be on your knees, it can be face up or face down, whatever feels most comfortable for you. And for now, we're just going to bring our awareness to our breath. And I'd like to invite you to imagine as if you are a tiny person standing on the tip of your nose, looking out at the world. And on an inhale, you move up in between your eyebrows. And on another inhale, you move up on top of your head. And on another inhale, you drop inside your mind. And in another inhale, you drop inside your throat. And another inhale, you drop inside of your heart. And with your attention at your heart or your center of your chest, I invite you to imagine as if you are breathing in and out of your heart or the center of your chest. So imagine yourself just breathing through that center. Just breathing a little bit slower and deeper than normal. And now I invite you to activate a feeling of appreciation or love by going to a memory of that feeling. So whether it was holding your child or hugging your partner or your parents, or maybe even just lying in the sun on the beach, whatever activates that feeling of appreciation and love for you. And allow that moment, that feeling, to get really strong. Make it even stronger, make it even bigger, brighter, and bolder. And as it gets even stronger, it begins to spread through your whole body. It spreads down into your hips, down your legs, into your toes. And it spreads up into your shoulders, down your arms, into your hands, up into your neck and your throat and into your head. Your whole body is now filled with this loving feeling, and perhaps imagine it as a color, perhaps the color gold. And this gold feeling is all through you, and it's getting so strong that you press it outside of you. And now you're surrounded kind of in this snow globe, this yellow golden globe of love, this liquidy gold blanket. And it gets even stronger, and you push it even further out until it fills the whole room. The whole room is filled with this gold liquidy blanket of love. And perhaps there's even other people in the room or in your home. And you push it even further out to cover them and every room of your house, covering it all in love. Then you press it even further out above your home, above your neighbors. And you push it even further until it surrounds your whole town. And you push it even further till it covers your whole city. And even further until it covers your whole state. Your whole state is covered and blanketed in this gold liquid love, this little blanket of love. And extend it even further until it covers your whole country. Your whole country is surrounded in your love. And press it even further out to neighboring countries. And keep pressing it out and out and out until it covers all neighboring countries, until it covers the whole world, all the land, all the water, all of Earth is blanketed in this gold liquid blanket. And you keep pushing out further and further and further till you're almost space. And you can see Earth as this gold kind of marble. And perhaps you feel the sun on your shoulder, its warmth radiating on you. And in the distance, as you look up, you see a beautiful star. And you pick that star and you hold it tight to your heart. And you know that it holds so much love and compassion and peace for you. And you hold that star as you begin to descend back down into this gold earth. You come back down over your country, over your city, and then your town, and your neighborhood, and your home, back into your room, and back into your body, still holding this star. And with an inhale, you press the star inside of your heart, knowing it holds so much love, appreciation, compassion, and healing for your body. Because you know deep inside your heart that your body wants to be healthy, whole, and complete. Another nice deep inhale in, allowing that to spread all the way through you. inhale, begin to gently bat your eyelashes till your eyes are open. May you always have clarity of thought. May you always speak your truth. And may your heart always be filled with love, compassion, health, and a feeling of completeness. Namaste. And for the time being, namaste at home. I just want to thank you so much for joining me again today. And I hope to see you again on Friday and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at the same time until we can kind of make our way through this together. I know it can be slightly annoying that the link to this is different every time. But if you need, I can always direct message it to you or email it to you, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel and you should be able to find the link for today's class. Casey says, thanks, Val, ready to take on the day. Yeah. Good woman. All right. Oh, well, thank you so much again, everybody, for joining. Anybody that was new, I hope you enjoyed that. It's a little different every time with a theme. So yeah, Gloria says, how wonderful to connect with you today. Oh, it was wonderful to connect with you too. And thank you so much for saying belly breathing. I hope you enjoyed that. And I do encourage people to practice that at home just a couple times a day if you want, in the morning or in the evening, just to connect to your body and connect to your breath and to help relax and bring a sense of calm. All right. Well, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. And I send you so much love. And I will see you on Friday. Okay. Have a good one. Namaste.